Live from the Icebox Studio in Montgomeryville, Pennsylvania, it's the Bill and Corey Show.
I'm Bill.
And I'm Corey.
Welcome back. Another episode of the Bill and Corey Show.
Yes.
This week's just going to be a pressure regulator, so if you're tuned in hoping to hear about rotometers or gas cabinets or filters and purifiers, just go watch something else. Taylor Swift video, cats, something like that. But if you want to know about regulators, we got them today.
Yes.
We got them today.
We got a whole box full.
We got a whole box. Hopefully we don't get them screwed up. But you probably don't know the difference. The first question, is it possible to do the request below for the 3494 regulator? That's that one right there. Yep. They want an inlet outlet 1/4-inch male VCR. Also, is it possible to move the gauge to the 9 o'clock port and use that port as the outlet? So inlet at 3, outlet at 12, gauge at 9, and weather at 6. So this is a 3494. It's an absolute pressure line regulator. Maximum inlet pressure is 400 psi.
There you go.
Stated right on the back. And it's good for if you need to regulate pressure in the vacuum range. It's also good for low pressures, 0 to 10 psi. It's got a large diaphragm in there.
Big old.
So it gives you good...
and it's metal still, right?
It's metal. Yeah, it's metal.
Well, usually sometimes when they get big diaphragms, they go to neoprene or something.
Yeah, they
like
do.
that sometimes.
Yeah, but they have a stainless steel diaphragm in here, so it gives you a little bit better pressure control. So they want to have something like this, but different. And we got the order for this today, so we could build it and just ship it.
I mean, as long as the high-low ports work for you, you can almost do any. You can have the high, it come out any direction
these
you
are.
want.
Actually, this one's not stamped for the gauges and stuff. It says in, out. So in would be the high pressure. Usually regulators have it. You can't. You know what? Our zoom-in camera is on vacation again. It's racking up the frequent fire miles.
Goes on vacation more often than I do.
I tell you, I'll be flying first class to Europe pretty soon. Most regulators have the L's and H's on the ports that tell you what's high and low pressure. This has an in and out in the gauge. It figures, 3 ports.
You'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. So I'm taking, I said assemble it very loosely. So let's see. So what do they want here? They want the gauge in the 9 o'clock port. So, that's the out. So it'd be here. What am I looking at it backwards? So they want the gauge here.
And it's important to note that this would be a delivery gauge, not an inlet gauge.
Yeah, that's a delivery pressure gauge. So it's got to be in the low pressure port, the out port. So they want, these are VCR fittings, so they want the outlet in the 12 o'clock port and the inlet at 3 o'clock.
Look at that. Now the only downside of this, you have to go like this to read the gauge.
Yeah, a little bit. But they do the numbers around there, so you can kind of...
Or...
You can read the 20 psi there.
Or they're just going to put the gauge up.
You don't know. It could
inlet
be.
And outlet, have the inlet. Yeah, you can do that
it
too.
could be upside down. We don't know. It could be backwards. I don't know. But yes, you can do that. We do. Oh, actually, we're doing this one today. So just take it back and ship it. No, we won't. We'll get someone who really knows what they're doing.
They'll just made it for you.
We just made it for you. This is what it looks like.
You should sign it before you send it to them.
Okay.
From the Bill and Corey Show? No.
Yeah, I think we're going to, as seen on the Bill and Corey Show. Yeah, so we're going to get real technicians in there.
Professionals.
Not people who play them on TV. And tighten them in there, and we do a leak check on it. And, they even clean up the little Teflon tape on there. So it's going to look really sweet going out. So, yes, we can do modified regulators, and you can put low pressure stuff in low pressure points, high pressure stuff in high pressure ports.
Especially when you get to like 6 ports, 3 highs, 3 lows, you can really, in our dual stage.
Well, dual stage, one's an interstage.
Oh, yeah, one is interstage, yeah, you're right.
So there's a lot of options there.
Single stage, yeah.
So I'm going to put that on the floor. Don't worry, it's clean.
Okay.
So that's that question. Okay, can you please quote us for a 3,500 psi cylinder of nitrogen and the required pressure regulator?
Well,
I can't quote them. That's where.
Well, yeah,
yes, we can quote that.
I don't know how many times I have to tell a customer that. Can you quote me that? I'm like, they don't let me do that.
But yes, 35. We do. Matheson does sell them.
I mean, if it's online, I can just show them the price. That's what you should do.
So we got a couple things. Oh, you want to?
I mean, let's point out
show 'em
first that
this. It's
typical
not all
cylinders are in the 2,500 range. So, and a typical
Yeah.
CJ fitting is for 3,000 psig,
Yep.
and this one's 3,500. So, you need different equipment for it. And this one, what's this number? What's
That's
this
a
one?
3060 series.
Yeah, there we go. I'm
Yeah.
still learning. So this is a high pressure regulator, and in it wouldn't be a CJ 580 like I said before. You put a CJ 680 into it because that
If we
one's
had
for
the close-up camera, we could look at this. Or
4,800. Is that what that one goes up to?
Well, it's for 3,500 psi cylinders.
Oh, just specifically 3,500.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I thought it went. I thought it was like 40.
It is rated for a little bit higher, but
Okay.
this is for the 30. This is the 680. It's got a fat nipple on there, and it looks kind of tough. So it's a little bit bigger.
Robust.
It's a little more robust. Yeah, that's just how they make them.
Mm-hmm.
But this would be the inlet fitting. This is just one from our
Yeah.
carefully curated.
And you can see the
engineering
valves different on it than our
museum.
normal
It's
regulators.
like has a pressure rating on there. What's it like? 10,000 psi needle.
6,000 psi.
6,000 psi needle.
And I like how they're
on
just
there.
like just a block. You know,
Yeah,
like,
it's like ugh, we're not rounding it
is that the
off.
Baroque style of architecture?
Yeah, it could be. So yeah, it's just block.
Brutalist. That's what it is.
Brutalist.
It's brutalist
Yeah,
architecture.
heavy duty, high
Yes.
pressure. They want so it's not like a
Yeah.
curved edges. It's not
Yeah,
too
no, it's
stylish.
not.
It's functional.
Rugged.
It's rugged. Yeah. Take that off road.
All right, we'll set this one down here.
Yeah, I'll put this on here. You know, it's funny. We get questions about this regulator. This is the regulator. I don't think we have a catalog page for, and we sold it for a very small amount of time. We must have sold a ton of them.
Why did we stop selling them if they're so popular?
I don't know. Not me, but the person asking the question. I have a 3104C 580 regulator with the description: regulator, comma, 3,000 max in, 4 to 100 psi max out, quarter-inch FPT ports, interstage relief valve. I believe that is obsolete. They are correct. And I'm looking for a part number for the replacement regulator. So that's a dual stage, or so we got a old regulator reference chart, or
Online. Yeah.
online at,
Stored.mathisgas.com.
and you go in the help center, and we've got old regulator cross reference, and it's got a list of old regulators.
You know what I realized, Bill? When we update the website, if it ever happens, we're going to have to go through and replace store.mathisgasgas.com with our new URL and all the old videos.
That would be a Corey project. There's like a redirect thing. I'll work on that. So anyways, so we got this big list, and it's got, if we have the old catalog page, we got a PDF link to that. But we have a link to our recommended replacement. And
Now, it doesn't mean it's the only one that can do it, but it's
yeah, because some are like, yeah, you could do this, you could do that. Yeah, some are kind of like.
And even with some regulators, like you got a corrosive gas, like don't the Tide diaphragm or the Manel diaphragm, like you could.
Right. Yeah. So we pick one for you,
Pick
so you
one,
don't have to.
yeah.
We're not going to give you a list like. Could be 5 regulators.
No,
It'd be like, why bother? I could have just thrown a dart at the regulator.
Just throwing out there if the one doesn't, do all your needs. There could be others.
Oh, actually, that's not the replacement. Is that the? Yeah, this is the. They look kind of the same, don't they?
Yeah, they do, except for the
How
valve.
about that? So this is the 1250 series, which is the 81 series, but with a stainless steel diaphragm.
There you
Because the
go.
3104C has stainless steel diaphragm. So this is 1250 series. This is closest replacement for the 3104C. It's a forged brass body. It's we put a diaphragm on the outlet, and it's got stainless steel diaphragm, and that would be your closest replacement for the 3104C.
Yeah.
So
Solid regulator.
yeah, of course, we're not going to sell an unsolid regulator.
And then finally, guess what the last question's about?
Pressure regulators.
Pressure regulators.
Oh.
Oh man, now we don't know what it is.
Yes, we do. They're looking for a dual stage regulator for a
5% H2.
5% hydrogen CO2 mixture. So, oh, look at that. Thank you. Yeah, dual stage for a 5% hydrogen argon mix. You send me a quote that said, and they say thank you. And the proper way to answer that is you're welcome. That's how I was raised. You're welcome. Nowadays, people say other things. When you say thank you,
No worries.
No worries.
I say no worries.
No problems. Some people say thank you, like you're on somebody on a talk show. Oh, thanks for coming in. They say, oh, thank you. Oh, no, you really should say you're welcome. You go, no problems, no.
I'm waiting for you to raise your fist and go, kids these days.
Kids these days. Can't believe them. So there's different regulators for it, and we've got some dual stage regulators here. It kind of depends on your purity.
Well, also, one of the things that matters too, and I think this delve into it, is it's a mix.
It's a mix, yeah.
So what's the CGA on it?
That'd be a 350.
Okay.
Because it's got hydrogen.
I know, but they asked you for one. I know that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it's interesting because it's also a mix, so it's not. It's you have to figure out which CGA.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was argon. Is that hydrogen argon?
Yeah, H2
yeah, hydrogen argon.
Yeah.
So you have flammable gas.
Yeah.
It's gonna, even though that's technically not I don't know if it's really a flammable level, but it's because there's hydrogen in it. Mm-hmm. It'll be a 350.
Yeah, so that's important.
So
they gave us the gas mixture.
And they have the Compressed Gas Association as a standard, I don't remember the number for it, that helps you determine the proper CGA for your industrial mixture.
Would sometimes one company do one CGA and another company do
another?
Well,
that's why
CGA?
they have a standard on that. And sometimes there is kind of like...
gray areas.
Yeah, you really need to check. Sometimes it could be... Some things could be like a 590 in low percentages, but if you go by the standard, that should point in the right direction. It gets kind of a little tricky with some medical type mixtures. Yeah, so it's flammable, it'll be a 350, and they're looking for dual stage. So it really depends on your purity level.
Yeah.
If you're just looking for like industrial welding gas kind of purity, you'd want to go to the Model 81, and it's got a little needle valve on there. This is the new style handle on there.
Yeah.
That handle, hey, that looks like the same handle you use on my welding torch.
It does, doesn't it?
That's because it is. The company makes these valves decide to standardize it. They go, hey, why do we have two knobs?
Yeah.
Why can't we use the same knob we use on the torch tips as on the valve?
Makes sense.
And it's, yeah.
Synergy.
Yes, synergy. So everything's coming together.
Yes.
So if you want a little bit, so that has a rubber type diaphragm, neoprene, something like that. So if you want a little bit higher purity,
now is this
1250.
Is this the same valve as this valve?
Yeah, no, this, yes.
Why don't we get synergy, huh? We got a blue and a black knob.
Well, this is just, this is from our, I think this, no, this is, no,
it might, I don't know.
It's just, I won't get in there. So this is a 1250. Yes, so this is a stainless steel diaphragm version of that. And then you can go up to
the blue knobs.
The blue knob.
That's how you know you.
Okay. Then you can go with either the 3120 series, which is nickel-plated brass, or the 3810 or 3120A series, nickel-plated brass, or you can go with a 3810A, which is stainless steel, and they kind of look the same. It's kind of hard to tell. This is the 3120A, so this is the brass nickel-plated.
There you go. It is actually, when you have a brass and a stainless, like, well, which one's which? I don't know.
Yeah, because you can really kind of tell for the fittings that go in there. But it can be hard to tell appearance-wise.
And also, since we're talking about, why different colored knobs? Why can't we pick a blue and stick with it?
Well, that's another thing. So.
Anyways, I digress.
Yes. So
yeah, we got regulators for lots of things.
All sorts of different purity levels for all sorts of things.
Nothing over 10% fluorine, though.
No, nothing over 10. No, these are not for.
Oh no, these are non-corrosive
regulators. It's a whole different story here. So.
Because these ones even say not for corrosive gases on it, I think.
Yeah. Anyways, so that is all we have for this week.
Yes.
So we want you to tune in again next week for another live edition of the Bill and Corey Show.
Set your VCRs.